What's up, guys? Day 2 of the US Chess Championships and US Women's Chess Championships is in the books. It was a very exciting day. Lots of decisive results in both sections compared to day 1 when we didn't have any decisive results in the open section. Today we could have had at least 4. We ended up with 2, still a very decent percentage, but we could have had more, and the games were very exciting. We will cover that in just a second alongside my good friend Yasser. And this time, I think in a much better setting. You guys, I hope, will enjoy it. The audio is much better than yesterday when I saw you guys complain in the comments. And I appreciate the feedback, and I hope we improve upon that. We cover everything, we highlight the day for you, and all in all, this happens in less than a car ride. Enjoy.
Wow. For me, the marquee matchup is Fabi versus Levon. And the whole approach by Fabi in the opening was really intriguing. I was mesmerized by d takes c5, bishop d2. I'd played these positions my whole career as black. Nobody ever played anything like this, playing for that queen g4. And Fabi ended up with a very significant advantage and then a huge missed opportunity, right? Why he didn't go for that knight g5 variation? That would have been awesome. Levon, right back in the game, throws it away.
Yes.
And then that big miss,
Knight to e6.
Oh, and that would have been, by the way, in the brilliancy books of the future, they would say, and this position, there's a really beautiful interference move.
It's one of those tactics that you don't even think about having in the position because it's such a special pattern. You're basically just trying to force the bishop to go to e6 so that you get access to this e5 square with the queen.
And then you can take on h7 with check. Yes, agreed. But on the other hand, it's pretty egregious to miss it when everything is there. Yeah. There's a checkmating thing going on there. The crazy part is the position turns on a dime. I mean, it just totally pivots. And then Fabi is under the pressure of the ticking clock, and he has to readjust his mind to say, I'm no longer winning. I've got to force a draw. And he makes that. That's really, really, really hard. And it was a very hard-fought draw. Great game. Ray Robson, knight a5, that was suicidal.
Yes, and I have to say, I have to commend the fact that Sam really picked the opening very well against Ray, allowed him to think. This is one of Ray's biggest weaknesses. He gets himself in time trouble very often. But he also knows a lot of theory in the main lines. This was the Jobava London, obviously something that he did not expect, and he got under the pressure of the clock very quickly. I remember Sam had an hour and 30 minutes or close to that, and Ray was down to his last 38 minutes. Right. So obviously at that point you start questioning your decisions, which he did. Knight to a5 was just a terrible move in the wrong direction, allowing the knight on e5 to stay there, which supports the attack on the king's side.
In fact, Sam played when Sam played the move g4, I think he had used 2 minutes from his starting time. I mean, he went boom, 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 bing, bing, then Ray went bishop e6, and then Sam thought for about 30 minutes and realized what a strong position he had. So that was a big gift. But talking about gifts, holy smokes, Lanier is on a 47 non-losing streak in U.S. championships. That's a very, very significant milestone. But today's busted. Like Sam Shankland, just checkmate here, checkmate there. Just let me make sure I'm not allowing a perpetual. Oops, he allows a perpetual.
Tell me the move. Tell me the
moment. That King went back to h7 instead of playing for f6. Instead of playing f6 and giving him king room, he went king h7, expected Lanier to extend his hand in resignation, and came queen g8. Check.
Cold shower.
Total cold shower. I mean, that is really brutal. I mean, really snatching a draw from a victory.
And I have to say, Sam Shankland really played a tremendous game. Not only that, but even the final portion of the game, with the exception of that one move, he calculated perfectly.
He truly did. And I think kudos to Sam, even from the move Queen F5, because he had the whole G5, G4 concept down. And White's bishops were getting into trouble, and that wasn't intuitively obvious at all. A great game by Sam.
Absolutely, and I do think that we had another decisive result. I'm trying to figure out this. Oh, Wesly Zoo against Christopher Yoo.
Exactly.
What did you see in that one?
Well, for me, Christopher Yu's pawn sacrifice out of the opening, E5, E4, was, I've never seen that before. That was a novel approach. It seemed like Christopher had actually prepped it, and at the board, I don't know if this was a refutation to the line, but what Wesly played with bishop f4, h4, he held the pawn. Wesly's going to convert. You know.
Not only that, and to be honest, this is something that I've noticed with Christopher Yoo. He trusts his preparation a bit too much sometimes. And even in the first game against Abhimanyu, I think he made a mistake. I don't know. We haven't talked to him after the game to know for sure, but it felt like it was a slight mistake. He got himself into a worse endgame. Exactly the same scenario in this one. He was blitzing out his moves, blitzing out the moves into a very difficult endgame in which he wasn't able to survive. And in fact, it felt almost effortless for Wesly.
In the end, especially the last 20 moves. I mean, but you know, when somebody's playing E4 against you and they're going down this road where your king is still on D1, and you're trying to figure out should you be playing E3 or, you know, king C2. That's not easy, but yeah, at the end, Wesly really does make it look effortless, but that's because Wesly is such a fantastic player. Yeah. People forget that it's actually Fabi and Wesly who's been trading U.S. championships, along with Sam, Shankland, and Hikaru. You know, but I think they scored
6 out of 8.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's pretty big.
Ladies section.
Yes.
What did you see there? Yes, sir.
Well,
give us the highlights.
Well, again, Carissa's just dominant. I mean, we kind of said looked effortless. Well, not truly. Rose actually had a really nice position. I liked her position very much before Rose found knight b5, and then she got her rook into trouble. The moment Carissa had a chance, d4, knight d5, bam, bam, bam. Carissa never let it go. 2-0. 3 players chasing her, and, you know, hats off to Atusa. Atusa spent playing black against Begum. Begum's been having a very good year.
She was neck and neck last year with Carissa.
Right. She's tied for first.
Winning game after game after game after game and only losing the championship in the final round.
Precisely.
They picked it up where they left it.
Yes.
In the first round, won the first round, Begum that is, and Carissa. Yeah. And today Atusa just played a tremendous game with the black pieces, neutralized Begum's Catalan. I think it was a Catalan, I'm trying to remember. Perhaps not Catalan, because the pawn was on A3.
It was the B5 variation. It was the takes on C4, A6, B5, and then there was A4. And it was a kind of a Queen's Gambit accepted. It felt like a Queen's Gambit accepted that went into a Slav. Now, having lauded Atusa, guess what? At the very end, she gave Begum a chance to slip out of this
but it wasn't easy. No. It was not easy.
Atusa needed to play the move rook d7. Instead, she played h5, and she was fishing and allowing Begum to escape, but Begum did not seize her opportunity. Irina Krush.
Against Megan Lee?
Yeah, I mean, you never count out Irina in these championships. She can... If she gets her position at the end, she showed, you know, some really great class, but the middle games, the openings has not been easy. The point, that was a hard fought game. That was really hard, in fact.
Absolutely. And Alice Lee also against Talia Cervantes got very close to winning her game. Yes. Even in the last, I believe, 10 moves, she had a winning opportunity in that bishop endgame, which was study-like.
Right, agreed.
It's very easy to miss it. Once again, if you're not being told that there's something in the position, you're probably not going to find it.
Agreed.
Now, after 2 rounds, who do you see as being in good shape? Let's talk shape and form of the players.
Well, again, we'll start with the ladies, and we just Carissa looks really good. I mean, she's having everything go her way, 2 out of 2, and her form looks great. Arena, Tusa, and one other player has +1 as well.
Tatev.
Tatev. Yeah, Tatev actually started in some ways, you know, you look at the field and you say, who's my issue? Who's the person I really don't like playing? Tatev doesn't like playing Alice Lee. No, she doesn't do well. She doesn't match up well. That game ends in a draw. Okay.
That's
you got
start. Good start for Tatev.
Yeah, you got one of your crocodiles away from you. She wins today. She's starting to feel like, hey, wait a minute, you know, I'm here, I can compete, and in these tournaments, it's about form.
Yes.
It's about your winning streaks. I don't doubt that Tatev is going to lose a game or 2. The question is, can she win 5? Can she win 6? You know, she wins today. She starts to feel it. That's pretty good. In the open section, everybody started with a draw in round 1. So, okay, they're kind of feeling themselves out. Fabi is going to feel that he got away with one against Hans. He was worse. He left something on the table. Again, he's the big favorite in the tournament. Levon, 2 draws. So they're not distinguishing themselves at the moment. Sam Sevian, a lot of people don't realize this. He won the Fisher 960 against the big dogs, the very, very big dogs. So he's saying, like, hey, wait a minute, guys, don't count me out, you know. So I think Sam is feeling very good again about his chances. Sam Shankland, on the other hand, watch out for that guy. He might be on suicide watch. He's like, I had 2 really great positions. I let them both go. He can wear. Hans started with 2 draws. He gets a draw today.
Not
with the
much
black
information
pieces.
from this game.
No, nothing to talk about.
Hans. Obviously,
there.
yesterday he missed an opportunity against Fabi, but today, nothing to be done. Wander wanted to make a draw, wanted to steer the game into a draw, and Hans with the black pieces, obviously, he's not going to force matters.
Exactly. Again, Wesly, he's the quiet winner. You know, he's like he just kind of creeps up on you. He's got +1, he's got +2. He's drawing a lot of games. Nobody's beating him, and suddenly it's sort of like, okay, I'm first.
Yeah.
So Wesley's very, very happy with his start.
Well, yes, sir. That's it. There you have it, guys. Round 2 recap in a car ride or less. There you have it. See you guys tomorrow. Let us know what you think in the comments. Who is in great shape in this tournament? What do you take from the first couple of rounds? And we'll see you tomorrow. I think we're going to do. You like this car ride recaps?
Hey, yeah, of course. But hey, wait a minute. I thought we were doing car karaoke together. Remember?
At the end of it.
Oh, at the end. Okay.
At the end of it, we'll
Sorry.
take the winner as well. We'll do karaoke during
The
car rides.
Sounds good.
See you guys tomorrow. Cheers.